All right. Are we getting a feedback? All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the superstars of business. And tonight we're doing something special. Never done this before. We have 4 guests on. That's 8, 4. And they are each and every one superstars. And they not only are great business builders, but they are superstars in their own lives because they are part of the World According to Eava. I just made a new club. And it's part of Craig's club, which is a 100-pound club. I call it the 100-pound Entrepreneurs Club. And so, now, Marc isn't quite 100 pounds yet. He's only 82 pounds. But Marc, how long is it taking you to lose those 82 pounds?
We started March the 7th, so we're talking about 7 months, I guess. 7 months tomorrow. So it's been awesome. Well, you need to unmute there, Eava.
Mute it again. Okay.
There you go.
All right. So it took you 7 months to lose 82 pounds.
Yes, my wife thinks I'm closer to 85, but I didn't bring my scale with me on vacation. So, but we've had good.
Your wife knows everything.
She does. She's the boss, man. Hey.
Okay, Jayne, how many pounds have you lost?
I have lost 110 total, 52 since January.
Amazing. Tammy Ray, how many pounds have you lost?
I've lost altogether 145 pounds.
Whoa. Okay, and coming in, the winner tonight, ding, 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 ding.
I'm going to have to lose.
The son formerly known as Ask Craig T.
I'm going to have to lose more. You guys are creeping up on me here at 161 pounds. My margin's shrinking a little bit here, so I'm going to have to do something pretty radical. But it's incredible. 161 pounds.
Tammy Ray's coming up behind you, pretty close.
Right? Yeah, there's a bunch of people that are coming up.
Okay, so now this is just tonight. We have on the call. We have Mr. Hawkins. We have all sorts of people who have lost weight. Now, I've only lost 45 pounds, but my question to you, to lose that amount of weight takes determination. Most people would just go under the knife and have the little belly band, but each and every one of you decided to make it a lifestyle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask every one of you, and whoever wants to start first, what was your epiphany? What was that thing that made you say, I'm done. We're starting fresh. Who wants to start?
I'll go first. So, I mean, for me, obviously with 161 pounds of weight loss, I was over 400 pounds when I started really getting serious about my health. My epiphany was mortality. I mean, I was 407 pounds. I was looking at a death sentence. I didn't really have a choice. I had to lose weight or I wouldn't have been around. So for me, it was just going to the doctor and being told what I already knew, which was I needed to lose weight.
Death is a pretty good epiphany.
Yeah,
How about you, Marc?
Yeah, there's always a time in your life where you're down on your knees praying and you just ask God, say, God, I just had to lose some weight, man. I was pushing almost 400 pounds and I was on my knees praying and I said, God, I need to lose some weight and I need to make some more money. And because I started the new business up and it was going well, but it wasn't going fast enough. And, a month later, I got introduced to RX and the weight loss program and everything else. And my wife and I have been just so blessed by that because she's lost 45 pounds also in the same 7 months. I've lost 80, close to 85, and my son's lost 35 also. So we're up there close to, we're almost lost what Greg's lost, or Craig's lost, So hey, but that's it. It's just, you've got to get to that spot in your life where you want to do it or you'll never do it. And it's just, it may be somebody telling you something, or it may just be that spot where you get, I'm 53 years old and the weight wasn't coming off. Man, I had to do something different, had to try something different. I've tried it all, but it didn't work, but this does.
So your family lost a total of 179 pounds.
So right, let me see, 80.
Okay, so we lost you there for a minute.
You muted yourself, Marc.
Got muted there. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, because I'm at 85 and Bess at 45 and Nate was at 35. So yeah, that's right at 170. So yeah, that's we just had a total. We decided we want to lose weight, man, and we've always been big people. I come from a long line of big people. My granddad was over 300 pounds when he died at age 82. So it's just it's in our genes, and best people are all big people too. So. I'm the run at 6'3" and 300 pounds, still.
That's a lot. Tammy,
Yeah.
how much total weight has your family lost? Okay, let's unmute. Can we unmute Tammy?
Can you hear me now, Eva?
Yeah, we can. So how much total weight has your family lost? You've lost 145.
Oh my goodness, I thought you were only going to ask me about me. Well, golly jeepers. My son is, like Craig was saying, right behind me. He's lost over 100 pounds. And my mother has lost probably around 80 pounds. And a couple of my sisters, they just played around with it, and they lost 20 pounds each.
That's amazing.
So it's been quite an experience and a transformation for all of us.
Now, Jayne, go ahead.
The main reason I am like Craig, the main reason I got on the program was my cardiologist sent me home to die. I weighed 200, I'm sorry I'm getting emotional, but I weighed 250 pounds. And this product saved my life. And it wasn't the first time. It's been a couple times it's helped me tremendously. But I'll tell you what, I'm not done yet. I want to be down to my teenager, get my sexy back.
CL will help you with that.
Yeah.
That's a mic drop right there. I mean, we're talking about life and death issues. And I know Tammy's issues. Jayne, are you the only one in your house? What was the epiphany for you?
Well, I have fewer people in my house than I did a few years ago, and we raised 4 kids from foster care. A lot of stress and trauma in our home. I put them ahead of myself in a lot. I still have 2 birth daughters that live here, 2 teenagers. So it was finally time to take care of me and get back on track. That was one reason, or one epiphany, was finally getting to put me first and taking care of me and being healthier. I also need a new hip. Next month, I'm going to get a new hip. And the doctors inform me that the lower your weight, the less risk for infection and other complications. So walking with a cane, all this weight has come off with no exercise, because you really cannot outrun a fork. It's all about your nutrition and what you put in your body. So important. And then the other thing was, because I started this business for the income, I quickly realized that you really need to be a product of the product. It was tough being with a cane and walking around and selling health products. And I thought, you know what? There is something I can do. I can use the products and show how even a person walking with a cane and busy lifestyle, I can do things with the products because they're really great. And they've helped me stay on track. So becoming a product of the product, it's helped with inflammation and the weight loss. Like Tammy said, I'm not sure if it saved my life, but it certainly has changed my life. Definitely.
Now, each and every one of you and myself, I am an emotional eater. This program is not a diet. It's like not starving yourself. If you were have you been on diets before? And what was the being able to eat? Did that make a difference for you? Or were you just at the point where the doctor says I have to do this and I need to do it?
I guess top of the order. For me, I think one of the biggest things for me with this program has been education. I can honestly say, similar to not knowing how to balance a checkbook, so I was financially unhealthy as well. I learned how to eat healthy doing this. So I think the big difference for me with this program, why it worked and why it was possible, was probably more to do with the fact that it was just good quality nutrition. I had tried a bunch of other stuff. I think everybody probably raised their hand if you said, "Have you tried a diet before?" I've tried everything from starvation to keto to paleo, and I still don't even know what half of that stuff is, to be honest. But now I feel like I really understand nutrition a little bit more because I've been consuming it, and it's easier to understand something that works, and knowing what I'm putting into my body. And then being able to see the results of it right away. The products are incredible. And I mean, I think a lot of people know my story, but one of the things I've really learned recently is just more about, what a good food list looks like, like the quality of food and just really knowing how to take care of myself. And I would say education's been the biggest part of this program. And what a great thing for a company to step out and not only say, here's a plan, here's a roadmap of things you should and shouldn't do, which kind of sounds like a diet, but hey, we've got these really great products that will help you do what we're talking about. And so for me, I like being kind of being told, like, this is what I should put in my mouth and this is what I shouldn't put in my mouth. I'm not a super bright person when it comes to that kind of thing. And so for me, I mean, it was fairly obvious, don't eat a lot of McDonald's and don't eat a lot of soda, drink a lot of soda and things like that. But when I stopped doing that, I still didn't lose weight. So I think for me, it really came down to the quality of the nutrition I was getting with the products.
Now, Jayne, you tell a story about your daughter coming to you. Isn't that, can you give us a little bit of background on that?
Well, I think that my whole family has looked more at what I'm eating and how they can do better. Both my girls are athletes, so they want to put better nutrition in their body. It's not real easy right now because some of them want to stay with their old habits. And that's really what helped me with the drops, how they helped me, how they help to slow you down and let you think, wait a minute, I can pass that up. It gives you, we call it liquid willpower. It can really give you more time to think about what your choices are. So certainly my family's nutrition is improving overall.
Liquid willpower. I love that. I love it.
You're just full of quotes tonight, Jayne.
Okay, Marc, if you had to starve yourself to stay on this diet, would you have done it?
Well, of course not, man. I tell you what, I love to eat. That is my favorite thing in the world to do. Now, I will tell you, using the drops and the improved food list, the hardest thing about it for me is putting enough in my body now. Once your body kind of gets acclimated to this, for you guys that haven't been on the Slenderex drops, your body gets where you just get where you're not hungry, okay? And that's the problem I run into. We've got to the spot where we have to go out and buy Ensure Max and other good protein sources to be able to take to be able to continue to lose weight, because it just gets where you don't want to eat. But the discipline of the drops and the discipline of the approved food list makes it super simple, and people that get on this, well, I don't want to starve myself. That's great, because you won't. You'll have other problems of putting enough in your body to fuel your body. So that's the one little caveat that's really the weirdest thing about this lifestyle change, is the amount that you have to force yourself to eat every day. And that's the thing that I struggle with, is getting enough in me. I run a busy lifestyle, and I have noticed I eat probably 5 or 6 apples a day, and I used to make 5 or 6 apples a year, so you find those things that you can get a hold to and eat, instead of grabbing up a candy bar and a Mountain Dew or a Sun Drop, which is a high sugar, high caffeine soda pop that I used to love to drink by 2 or 3 a day. But, those are the kind of things that, as you get into this, and when you're trying to bring people onto this, that's one of the things you need to tell them. Say, hey, you're gonna be struggling to eat enough, because you won't want it like you did. That's that liquid discipline, that liquid in the bottle, man. That's the secret sauce, whatever you want to call it. That's what makes this thing work, and it gives you a very Todd Rowland told me, he says, put drops under your tongue about 10 minutes before you eat for 30 seconds, and when you get hungry, eat whatever you want off the approved food list, and you'll be fine. And that's the truth. It's that simple, and it's hard to believe. I've counted calories, I've bought foods, I've done everything in the world, man, and none of it worked, because it lacked the discipline piece of it that you get from the Slender X drops. When you balance out your hormones, and you balance out your thyroid and your pancreas, man, your body works the way it's supposed to, so you're not craving all the sugar and all the junk that you normally put in it. So that's my nutrition class for you for this evening.
Now, Marc, you are a success. You said you were starting a new business. I know Craig and I were, actually, Craig almost bought my coffee shop. The coffee shop that I closed? Craig almost bought it. I know when I started this business, I needed a way to pay the bills. And you were starting a new business, and starting a new business, that's a lot of work. How could you fit starting an online business? How could you do that at the same time you were starting? And by the way, is it Farmers Insurance?
Yeah, it's Farmers Insurance. I've been with Farmers for 16 years. I just had a different role of training and recruiting agents. Now the cool thing about this is my wife is actually the rep here, and she does the majority of the work. We work together really good. I'm a good recruiter, and she's good behind the scenes on building people up and helping them getting the products, and she just does an awesome job at that. So I can't take all the credit for what's going on. As a matter of fact, I don't take very much of it at all, because she's after it. But what happens is, between what she does well and what I do well is good, but it's one of those things where you have to dedicate, especially if you're doing something else like I am. I have 5 employees, and we got one of the fastest growing agencies in Tennessee. And but I still schedule myself 45 minutes to an hour every day just to pick up the phone and call people and say, hey, we talked about this, or we jump on and I do a lot of social media marketing, have been for years. So that's just an easy thing for me to do. And I'll build up different types of flyers and different things, and I'll schedule them out. Like before I got on here, I scheduled out for the next week and a half, and I've got all my farmer stuff scheduled out. I have all my my RX stuff scheduled out, and I've launched another product line on telemedicine. I've got it on there also, where people can go on and sign up for that. So it's one of those things. It's just about dedicating time in your day to do that, because every one of us got the same amount of time in every day. Some of us use it a little better and different than other people do, because there's a thing called television that can suck the life out of you, and there's different things you do. But I learned a long time ago, there's about 2 activities you got to spend the majority of your time on. One of them is money-making activities, and the other is money-saving activities. And then there's family time, and if you ain't doing one of those 3 things, and of course you got to have your time with God, but I put that with my family time. So those are the important things that you kind of stay on. But yes, it is a difficult thing to stay building a business, but we're trying to build this. We've put on 100 and we're close to 140 reps we've put on in the same 7-month period, but where we've put on 40, we're probably 48 or 49 personally sponsored, and they've put on up to almost 150 in that total. That gives me 150 people under me. So that's been one of the cool things. We're starting to get to people, you know, and I just landed an Herbalife lady that come on board. She signed up last night with an ultimate pack, and she's got 400 reps. I think she's going to be bringing over to us in hopefully next month. So it's just one of those things of being out there and talking to people. And I looked back at my text. The last time I texted this lady was April the 26th. And she told me she wasn't able to do it right now, but she's been following me ever since. So just because somebody tells you no today, man, just keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on talking to them, touch base with them, make sure you're saying hi to them, because they're watching you. I promise you, if they see what you're doing, they're watching you and they want to do what you're doing, because people want to be with successful people. And if you're losing weight or building a business, they're going to want to be like you. So just remember that people want to be with successful people. It's never going to change. So just be out there and have an awesome time doing this and helping people. And my wife and I saying, you know, you get lucky like that, but our whole goal is to help one person at a time become healthier, lose weight, and have a better life. And if we can do 400 at a time, that's great. But if we do one at a time, that's fine too. So it's really about helping and serving others at the end of the day, and everything else kind of comes unto you, you know.
Now, Jayne, you actually just got a promotion and you've taken on more responsibility, but you're still building a business just like Marc. How are you doing that?
Yeah, I also went from part-time as a school counselor to full-time, so that added a bit of interesting. And my kids are in a lot of sports, so you know, it's trying to fit it in when you can. So I'm at the ball field. I'm usually watching a Zoom with my headphones on, and I'm sending out texts or a lot of social media as much as I can to promote the products in different creative ways. So it's about trying to fit it in the times that you have.
All right. And Tammy, I know now you have a retail store. You help take care of your mother. You do trade shows. You're a very busy person. How do you fit this into your lifestyle?
Basically, I just do it. It's just one thing. I share my testimonial with everybody that comes into the store. I have the product at the store available if they'd like to purchase, or if they don't want to purchase, I prefer them to become preferred customers, now they call it, or members. And everybody's choosing the other side of the member side for the 30% off discount versus the preferred customer. But we do have some of those that want to be the preferred customers. It's really, it just kind of goes with the flow. It's one of those deals, like kind of Craig and the other gentleman was saying, you just have to do your best and share your testimonial and your transformation that you've had. I was thinking about this all day, and a lot of the Zooms, they talk about weight loss, but you know what? Our products aren't just weight loss. And like, I forget if it was Craig or the other gentleman said it, I think it was Craig, that it comes from the inside out. And when you start something, you really want to finish it. And it's kind of the same with retail business or helping anybody. You know, I don't only help my mom, you know, around the house and do other things, but she helps me too. And also, you know, my family members, that's why we're all together as a family, like everybody was mentioning, you know, whether they're, you know, your own or if you've adopted them, you know, it's all the same. We take care of each other. And then pretty soon all your promoters and all your customers, you end up calling them, making sure they've got what they need. You end up doing things that can help you benefit your business. So as far as a business person goes, it's just one of those deals that you just do what you have to do to get it accomplished. With COVID, it's been really hard with us small business owners because we're just floating. We're just kind of floating. But with RX, that's a different story. And so the retail helps me a lot with that. And I did paperwork today and I couldn't believe the things that were on that paper.
That's amazing. Now, Craig Tomanini, our newest vice president. Woo! Whoa, whoa. Craig Tomanini, you have a full-time 40-hour-a-week job. You drive from Colorado Springs to Denver. You are totally building a house from scratch. He had a perfectly good house and he tore it apart and is rebuilding it. How do you build your business and why is it important to you? Did we lose him? Unmute, Craig. Can you hear him? We can't hear you. We lost you. Okay. Can you hear me? Okay, I hear something. Okay, Craig, chime in when you get that resolved. If you had any recommendations to somebody starting a new business or to someone who was looking to change their health, what would be, we're at 28 past the hour. I want each of you to give me your final word. What recommendation or what word of wisdom would you give to us? So let's start with you, Jayne.
You can't be afraid to share your story. So I try to put it out there quite a bit. And sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, the 100-pound club, no way. But you know what? When I put it out there, I get people that respond and then I message them and it's turned into a lot of customers and promoters. So you just got to put it out there and be thankful for what you have and be proud of the work that you've done, but really buy into the products with, my burn and my drops. I use them as directed and they've done wonders. So
I always say that it's not your story. If you don't share your story, you're denying somebody else their transformation.
I like that.
Can you hear me now?
All right, Marc. Oh, there we go. The storm is coming and he came. Okay.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there. So to your comment, I'm not actually building my house. This gentleman right here, this is Doug. Come here, Doug.
How you doing?
This is Doug.
Hi.
Doug is my general contractor, and he will be one of my newest reps here very soon. So he actually is working very late right now in my house. But how do I build my business while being busy? So yeah, like you mentioned, I have a job. I've been a director for 25 years in IT. So I work actually about 50 hours a week, but during the COVID, I've actually been working from home. So not such a bad gig, no driving to Denver. But I, like Marc, am also being trained as an elder in my church. And so super busy there. And then of course, 5 kids and a grandson on the way in January. Yeah, super busy. But the way that I build my business is, I think when I started out, it was more about getting it done in the cracks of my life. And honestly, as I've started to see results, and I think Rick Redford says it really well all the time, when you get to a certain level right around manager, you know, and moving towards director and that kind of thing, you start to think about doing this full time. And that's definitely been my experience. And as I've thought about that, I've thought about what that would take. And honestly, it's really taken a mindset shift for me to really start to think about, you know, where my priorities lie with regards to my day job. Of course, I still need my day job right now. But, you know, Crystal Vance said it when we were in Utah, you know, if you have your escape place, you know, your back door, if you have a place to go, you're never going to treat this business like it's $1 million, or in our case, $500 million going to $1 billion business. And I really, when I was in Utah, I really made that adjustment in my mind. And so now, you know, hopefully my boss isn't on this Zoom or never will see this, but the reality is I actually spend as much time as I can working on the business, and I do my job in the cracks, which, you know, I'm just really good at time management. And I think one of the big things for people to realize is that, you know, you have to, first of all, put this as a priority. And once it becomes a priority, finding time to do it actually gets easier. And then you just do all the other stuff that you have going on. And I think people kind of have that backwards. They do all the stuff that they think they have to do. They go to their job, they do all the life stuff, the things that are kind of coming at them 100%. And then they try to find time to make this big. And I just don't think that that's possible. You can certainly do this in your part-time with your, I think Jayne said it, with a part-time mentality. But I think once you shift your mindset to being a full-time mindset, you're going to start to see different results because you have a different mindset. So, you know, no magic formula or anything. I'm just working my butt off. You know, I'm just trying to do as much as I can do in any given point of the day that's going to be, you know, producing type activity, things that are going to create income, things that are going to, you know, help my team get to the goals that they have. That's the focus that I have now. And I think once that shifts, then everything just kind of changes in your business.
Well, you can see that you suddenly went, what, 2, 3, 4 levels in a matter of just a couple of months. And if you working your butt off was 165 pounds, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and that's the other side of it. Like Marc said, you know, you have to be willing to get out there and talk to people, and certainly having a weight loss transformation of any kind, really, you know, it kind of bugs me when people like you say, I've only lost 40 something pounds. That's a huge deal. You know, losing 15 or 20 pounds is a huge, anything you can get off is a huge deal. And when you have that story, then you're going to be able to use that, leverage that in a way that you can, you know, create a business. And, you know, I believe nothing happens by coincidence. You know, I mean, yeah, I was looking at death, you know, when this all started, but the reality is that I know God used that situation to get me into this place so that I could then help other people with the situations that they're going through. And like Marc said, I love how you put that out there, Marc, is, you know, you really have to be other people focused. You have to really work on helping others. Don't worry about what you're doing for yourself, because it's not about you.
Right. Okay, Marc Lewis, I'm going to let you wrap it up. Give us some words of wisdom. I love your words of wisdom. You're a very wise man. You know that, right?
Well,
of course, you married your wife.
I know it, man. I tell you what, that was the start of it right there. Yeah, we got married in 52 days, so I'm a good salesman and a wise man. So, but you know, guys, is my words of wisdom to you is that you have to become the product that you're selling. You got to believe in it. You got to use it. You have got to absorb it, you know, and when you're able to get out there and talk about it and learn about it and study it, you know, there's a ton of information on there. You gotta find out what's important to that other person that's sitting across from you. You know, is it important to them to lose weight or to be healthier, or a combination of that, or maybe they want good looking skin? I don't know what it is for you, but for me, it's the weight loss. I get phone calls and emails and texts about people says, "How you doing this? How you doing this?" I talked to one of my old neighbors. I live next to in Pennsylvania. In 1995, just reached out to me on LinkedIn, wanting to know what I was doing. So being out there and putting yourself out there, you know, it may be embarrassing to put a picture of you when you were 30 pounds heavier or 25 pounds heavier or 100 pounds heavier and put one of you out there now. But that's what we're showing results. At the end of the day, people want to they don't mind spending money on something that's going to make them feel better, look better. Especially in this world, that's the kind of things that they're looking for. And while you're out there working and doing what you're doing, there's somebody has a need comes into your life every day. Sometimes it's a product need, sometimes it's a spiritual need, sometimes it's just somebody for them to listen to, man. And you being there and being available, people will buy a lot of stuff from you when you're available to them. And I think but we come back to that common thing of serving others is the thing. Jesus says, I came here to serve, not to be served. And I think that is the nutshell of this business, and any business you get into, is the service that we give to others. And we got products here that will change people's lives. I'm talking about transform depression, weight loss, diabetes, all these different things. We can't cure or diagnose them, but by golly, we can sure make them better. I promise you that one. There hasn't been anything I've seen that people take the product and take it right that don't have a transformation in their life of some sort. And sometimes it's transformations you're not expecting, but it works. And then some people get in this and they transform their wallets. So any way you do it, you're helping other people, and you transform your life in the process of transforming other people's lives. So I don't know if that's what you were looking for, but that's kind of the piece for be your product and serve others,
Well, this is the deal. This is one of my favorite Zooms, and I'll tell you why. And I love our Tuesday nights, because we're talking about people who don't talk the talk, they walk the walk. And the one thing that's common with everyone is serving. There's that old, I'm going to date myself, Rod Stewart song, you got to serve somebody. And, it's kind of a little biblical thing, so I just have to throw that out there. But one story at a time, a mindset, an attitude of servanthood, and getting the job done. So thank you, everyone. We're going to unmute the lines, give everyone a great big thank you. You are inspirational. I just want each and every one of you